just jumping out of that, like seeing that their way of doing things is clearly not working. Um, what well, what else isn't working? A lot, the patents aren't working. Uh, Concentrating wealth isn't working, and as far as meditation, after I started meditating, I realized that like happiness, I can almost control. Well, okay, we can go really deep into it. I kind of am shy about it, but um, basically, it taught me that my emotions and my mind and all of the feelings that I have are like, if these are feelings and they are a platform, and consciousness is a platform. I'm the platform that I say I'm feeling angry or upset, and it gives me that ability to just control those emotions, and then at that point, you're just like, oh, I can just, I'm content, and that's what I want the rest of my life to be. Um, I don't feel like I have to be. I don't feel like happiness will come from a Ferrari. Even though at a point in my life I was like, yes, I'm going to be a doctor, and then I'm going to make 300K a year, and that's what I'll do, and get fancy cars, and people will respect me. That kind of went away, and now happiness comes from within, and I just want to give that opportunity to other people.
Right.
Like now I feel like, man, if I just have really good natural food and like a good stable place to stay, good people that I'm around, that's what I value, and we can that makes it a lot easier to give that stability to everybody. You don't have to have the marketing behind, or the story behind the Ferrari. Um, yeah.
What do your parents do for a living?
My parents, we own small businesses. We have a motel. We have a couple of gas stations. We're building a strip mall, and so we're just we started with gas stations. One gas station. Before that, they were custodians, and yeah. So
Are your parents supportive of your quest for life, or?
yeah, begrudgingly. I mean, they have been upset, because Indian people just love physicians, and so they're upset that I left that, and then I had a really paying job. They're upset that I left that, but they can't argue with my ideals and my vision. It's really, they know the poverty firsthand. They were in India, and they used to make get all cow poop together, all cow manure, put it into like a little disc, make little discs out of it, and let it dry, and that's what they use to burn for fuel, for cooking.
Yeah.
And so they know firsthand what poverty does, and they can't argue with the fact that I want to do something about it, and that I wasn't doing anything about it by making health insurance software or anything.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
so they can't really argue with that. They are upset about the fact that it's very unstable for now. I've been trying to get a market garden going, been researching about that, and trying to learn more about these type of techniques. It's weird. I feel like we parallel each other so much in terms of like you and I. When I see your story, I was like, man, I'm literally this guy like 15 years behind or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
No, absolutely.
they do support it. I've talked to him ad nauseum about OSE, and
Oh, yeah.
it's like,
So they when you talk to them about OSE, they saw the TED Talk, somewhat supportive, or?
I didn't show them the TED Talk. I just showed them. I just kind of gave them an example of what we do in our village. It's like a small 600 home village. It's a small town, essentially. So maybe a 2,000 person town, and we have some farmland there. I thought, they try help. They send money, and they do things like pay for people to go to school, pay for healthcare for certain people, and I'm like, man, we could just start this seed there and see where it goes.
Bring a CNC touch table. Do you have metal there? I mean.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's such a perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we still rent out our farmland, and the laborers make about 400 rupees a day, which is it's like less than $10 a day. So it's like I think it's like $6 a day, and the work for like 10 hours. So they're essentially working for 60 cents an hour, and that's kind of where the idea for my game came in. And because I realized people spend 60 cents like it's nothing, and if you can, have someone in America who's kind of playing a game spend $1, and for that we get an hour and a half of somebody's time, and they'll be more than happy to do something like this compared to manual farm labor, by hand planting rice. I just there's potential there. I haven't completely worked the details, and that's kind of where I'm at, and why I want to join forces with you guys essentially. Because I feel like that's how I'll learn the skill set, and to be able to execute on that idea.
Yeah. No, that's cool. So what we train you for during the 5 weeks is specifically to run the 3D printer build workshops. Do you think you learn, like, pretty much master the technology and kind of technical level you think can learn how to build and understand that printer in like 5 weeks? You'll get a lot of builds during the program itself. We're going to have 6 builds of the printer. So you're going to be decked with that experience, then doing that like almost every day, not every day, once a week, twice a week. So you definitely nail that. There's also the project management side where it teach you all the techniques of design build, which is basically what we call collaborative literacy. You will build all the other machines, but basically for development, the CNC circuit mill and the 3D printer are pretty much ready for, like, they're workshopable. We can run workshops with them because they're good products. The other machines are essentially still under development, as in we build them during the workshop and they will work, but we're going to be taking them from the prototype to the product phase as part of the program.
Gotcha.
So that's the idea. But we know we have proven the 3D printer builds as a viable business model. And that's why we're comfortable saying, hey, we can pay you a stipend of $3,000 a month to do that, which translates to, if we run workshops, that means 1, 2, or more workshops if needed. But we have to basically have 10 people show up to our workshops per month, which I think is very manageable. And anything above that will feed back. I mean, that pays for your costs, like pays $3,000. Anything above that we'll be able to use to prototype more, to build facility here, because we want to develop this facility to a world-class center. Right now we're very basic. We've got the Hab Lab, some structures here, but it's very basic. I mean, it's still kind of the same. Yeah, I mean, we're building here and there and doing what we can. But we want to take it to really the world class. Because, I mean, I believe it's like, people always ask me, it's like, oh, why don't you do it like in San Francisco or something, or some hot area? But no, I mean, you got to do it anywhere, The point of light can shine and illuminate darkness from anywhere. It doesn't have to be in a specific location. So that's kind of our theory. And it's good. It's good here. It's an hour from an airport, so it's good. We're not like, we are the next nowhere. It's somewhere in the middle of nowhere, but it's like you got Kansas City and 1 million population center within an hour drive, so it's not really middle of nowhere. Not like some places, but but so would you be comfortable in an environment like that where you make it all by walking and then?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've reviewed the website a lot. I have like 8 pages of notes, and so I understand what I'm getting into, and I'm very confident I have the technical skills to understand all the tooling in the 5 weeks. And more so than that, I think I have the ability to go out and market myself and the technology and get people, to come to the workshops.
Awesome.
These failed business attempts kind of took away my discomfort with pitching and marketing, and
nice.
A lot of times technical people have difficulty with that, and so I don't think
No, that's excellent. That's really excellent. What are the questions that you may have for me about project?
Let me get my notes. I had them written down. I guess so. If what I was kind of confused about the immersion program and the fellowship, they seem like two separate things. If I'm, you know, if I do the immersion program and I to your liking, I understand the tools and can do the workshops. Does that mean I'm a fellow, or is there still like another process?
Right. So there's going to have to be some clear evaluation criteria for you making the cut. I.e., there's going to be a test or some form of an exam, but part of it is practical, because at the end of the sessions, we people, the fellows, I will not run the last workshop. I will have you guys pretty much lead it, which will essentially be the test of whether you understand it or not. So a lot of that will be self-evident, like, do you actually know what you're doing? Have you learned the practical skills and technical skills? And there will be some, we'll have basically like an exam, like we'll sit down and talk. I will ask you a lot of different questions. But it'll be self-evident. Basically, like, we are in it together. My goal is to have you succeed, to support you in all ways. It's not like I want you to succeed. It's good for the world. It's good for everybody. If you succeed, that means we are gaining a full-time developer who is working on a project, who's bringing in revenue, who's developing new products. The idea is that once you finish the immersion training, we will task each of the fellows with owning one of the products. So maybe it will be the filament maker, or maybe like a larger one of the 3D printer, or maybe we decide to really nail the laser cutter part. So we'll assign those different tasks based on your liking and your tendency and so forth. We have a democratic dialogue of where you're at and what you'd like to do. But the key requirement is, financial sustainability has to be there. It means each one of us develops a core product offering on a quarterly basis. So it could be, for example, maybe the larger 3D printer or whatever it is, or just nailing the filament maker, getting a significant product burned down to literally to the 100% level. And it could be either just the product. We treat the enterprise as a separate entity. So the enterprise means that we have a proven workshop model. So maybe like one possibility is that if we have the 3D printer nailed, then your assignment maybe for the quarter might be something like develop the revenue model behind it. It means document it, make it, create a manual, create a training manual or something, all the enterprise assets. So we have a development template, basically a bunch of different things you need to develop an enterprise, an open source enterprise, distributive enterprise. And that's the big word here, distributive enterprise, meaning that we publish also the blueprints of how we run this business. So that may be your product that you have to burn down 100%. So you can either be burning down the technical development or the enterprise development. Yeah.
Right.
But we want everybody to be very focused. Okay, quarterly cycles, review every quarter. Have you you get to stay? Have you gotten 10 clients a month? And of course we help you. The responsibility is you print the parts, you inventory, and you run the event. We do the marketing. I mean, we put up the website and stuff like that. And of course, you can help promote that. There'll be incentives, like if you get more people to come, you should be entitled to more revenue share from that. But we're saying that 3,000 is the baseline, and over a certain amount above that, you might do more. But that is the baseline. Like it's very, for the performance review, it's very simple. It's like, have you gotten the monthly quotas? Have we got, also you have to be a good teacher, so you have to have like 3-star or better reviews, which by the people attending the workshops, just basic clear metrics for performance. And as far as making the thing, like, I mean, if you're, I'm vetting you to come to feel confident that yes, you can handle it. I certainly believe you can handle it. I mean, sometimes things don't work as they do. I mean, but the focus is going to be like, can you commit to the integrity of making sure that you learn the techniques and learn to have an open, I mean, to continue with an open mind and learn how to teach this effectively. I mean, I think you probably can. And so, yep.
Cool.
And
I
yeah.
definitely, I definitely think I can too. I'm comfortable with like if things aren't laid out, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
if it's kind of nebulous, I'm totally comfortable with that. And just trying to figure out how to get something done.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess one of the other question was, how are you doing with like you interacting with other open source ecosystems or products? Because there's been like a booming kind of thing.
Yeah.
But you mentioned, you're finding that a lot of people say they are open source, but actually aren't. But I see like so many Kickstarters for open source things.
And that actually applies to those too. I've been at this game for a long time. There's very few people, like just for example, let me show you a thread from today
Mm-hmm.
that explains what we're talking about. Okay. And the key word here is distributive enterprise. And not only distributive enterprise, just being fully open source. The page on the wiki called non-commercial. Do you know the distinction between open source and fake open source or non-commercial?
Yeah, I read what you had written about it.
Yeah. And I added actually. Yep.
You mentioned like Tesla open sourcing events and
Take a look at the link I put in and the thread below there. But basically, like for example, someone posted on OSE. Scroll to the bottom of that page, and you see that I embedded the recent Facebook post. Basically, they're saying, "Hey, these guys are out there in Europe doing open source machines." And I looked at the website, and the first thing I looked for is the license, and they have a CC BY non-commercial license. That's not an open source license. That means if you build their products, they can sue you for building their thing because you cannot. Non-commercial means that you can't sell it. Part of the freedom of open source is naturally that you can sell it. That's how you get people motivated to contribute, so you can make a living out of it, right? So I try to explain on that thread to the guy who posted that, hey guys, these guys are not open source. Right now, we cannot run a workshop, take their advanced cultivating machine, and run a workshop with it. That's not allowed by their license.
Right. Yeah, and it goes back to the same thing as more conventional enterprises, where there's this European center that has to benefit from work that other people are doing. So if we do it like in India, they'd have to like pay them, and then they're just it's the same model again. You know what I mean? Like if people in India want to use those things, they would have to pay.
Right.
They have to pay back, and if they won't get the full value of their work. And, yeah.
Are you talking about a specific entity?
No, well, I was just comparing this one that you posted. If they don't allow it to be commercialized, then it's essentially the same model as conventional enterprises, conventional corporations.
You nailed it.
You're still extracting wealth.
Exactly.
And
I think, I mean, you get so right on, because what they're doing is they're basically saying, you contributor, we are going to privatize your work. They're just extracting like a regular corporation. They're just teaching.
Yeah.
And the thing that disturbs me about it is, it's fine if they do that, but they can't call themselves open source.
Right.
And everything, like that whole post was open source agriculture. Well, bullshit. It's not.
Yeah.
But it's very subtle, because most people are very much unaware. They don't have collaborative literacy to understand what open source really is. And it's a very deep cultural thing, and I'm identifying that as a critical thing. Like, I go out of my way to collaborate with people and do that, but for example, some of the greatest collaborations are people like, for example, Lyman Filament Extruder that I just visited when I was actually in Washington and Seattle like 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
Which I, would apply by then, and we would have met.
yeah, I was gonna know.
Yeah, but that guy is good. Phil and the extruder guy. There's the people from Michigan Tech University who run the Open Source Technology Lab, and that's Dr. Joshua Pierce, and he is completely open source. But even with that, like, he will not give you blueprints like when he's working on them, because
Oh, weird.
when he publishes a paper, if anything shows up on the internet, then he will not be able to publish that paper. So the system's kind of rigged. So even like the most open source guy, he cannot, like, I asked him questions, he kind of like ignores me, He says, dude, I just can't tell you. Wait till it's so it's kind of sucks, you can't collaborate, but it is fully open source once he does publish it. So that part is good. And they have the world's best recycle bot filament maker, so we're going to build that one. And I'm planning on visiting out there this month before the immersion program to build that with them again. I went out there before to give a talk there, but yeah, this is good guys. And people say, okay, what about FarmBot? Yeah, great, but they're like FarmBot. They're great because they're open source, but a lot of those things, if they are not designed for DIY fabrication, like easy part sourcing, like the latest Prusa i3 3D printer, FarmBot, like a lot of these projects get into like pretty custom parts that you can't really get off the shelf, so you can't really build them. Which means that they're not distributive. They're not distributive according to Open Source Ecology definition, meaning that you make it easy, you go out of your way to help people make starts happen, They don't do that. So I definitely look for people who are the nature of distributed enterprise, but so far I really have not seen anybody else saying to me, hey Marcin, let's get together, develop products collaboratively, and all of us sell them. I say that to people. I engage people in that way. Hey, let's work together so we make products, because the markets, for example, for a cordless drill, there are billions of dollars in the U.S. alone. We're talking about substituting proprietary markets. We can collaborate, but no, like, I don't know anybody who's doing it. We're like the only guys doing that, and we have a decade away. So it's insane how, in all practical purposes, like open source just doesn't exist. Open source software exists, but not hardware. It's like absolutely trivial and insignificant at present. We want to change that. So
Yeah, me too. Wow, that's interesting. Gosh, I had a follow-up question, but it escaped me.
Yeah, hold on a second. Let me see if there's a guy here who might. Let me see if I need to go yet. Hold on.
Okay, sure.
We have a few more minutes because we're finishing up with that Shane who's here. He's installing the open source power meter at the Seed Eco Home. We're going to finish that up, but I got a bit more time, so let's wrap up some things and maybe talk about the pitch as well. But do you have another question that you can remember? Or?
No, it was actually just a statement about how I don't feel the need to own anything or put my name on anything, really. Like, right. I just want this to get done.
Yeah.
Like, I just want this to happen. I just want this to. I used to get really upset when I would have an idea and someone else made it, and then now I'm like, well, it exists in the world now. Isn't that what I wanted?
Exactly.
I wanted it to exist in the world, but even if they made it, that's fine.
Yeah. No, that's great. I really appreciate that you have that level of awareness about yourself to say things like that. That's not a lot of people are there. So. Good job.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So the pitch. Okay, so I think that the maker spaces, there's about 4 or 5 of them in Seattle, one in Tacoma. I feel like go there. It'll be like a way for them to set themselves apart because they're all really competing the same thing. Come here and use our 3D printers and our laser cutters. Come here and use our stuff. And now it can be like, hey, come here and make your own stuff. There's more classes for them, more people coming into their maker space. Other than that,
so how are they gonna? So what are you gonna say to them? You're gonna ask them to fund you so the equipment lives there.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask if you're okay with that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Okay.
I
And
mean,
then so like I would
but
like do like
here's the only constraint. You're going to have access to that equipment when, say we get a workshop, it's a week away, and you got to make 12 part sets. It takes 1 day per printer to print a part set. So you just got to make sure that you have the headway that you got parts for your builds,
gotcha.
which
Yeah.
means that you have to run them like 24/7 or whatever. So that has to be accessible to you in a good way.
Okay. Yeah, well, not, I don't know what the other makerspace is, but the one I'm a member at, I know the owner and the people who work there really well, and I've helped them even restore and build tools. So
Uh-huh.
we restored a wood planer,
Uh-huh.
and that was for free on Craigslist, and so they know me, and I think they're okay with
Awesome.
that
Yeah, I
every
mean,
month.
so you think they would actually, pay for some of pay for that, support you to?
Sure, yeah, at least part of it, and then I have some savings as well. My parents as well, and there seems to be a lot of interest out there. This is just a preliminary search I did over the weekend for clean tech and ecology related funding. People are
Okay.
looking to fund projects like
So,
that. So,
okay, I like that. Um, let's see, I'm gonna give you a few links. Can you use Google Docs?
yes.
Let's start a pitch. Can you get one, and let's kind of, can you share that with me? So do an open editable Google Doc and share it with me. Let's prepare a pitch.
Okay, just a second.
I put a page on the wiki. Do you have access to the
Should,
wiki right now?
I was gonna say, should I get doc or slide? Should we just pitch
It's
deck?
a Google presentation.
Okay. Google. Uh, yeah. Okay. Let me share. It's asking for an email address to share. Actually, I'll get a shareable link here. Let me do that.
No, just make it open edit. Anybody in the world can edit this. That's what we typically
Oh,
do. And you don't have to
okay.
worry about getting hacked because you can restore changes. We never have documents hacked.
Okay. On public on the web. Anyone on the internet can find and access no sign required.
And change that to edit privilege.
Okay. Anyone can edit. Okay. All right, I sent the link. Um, I'll just iterate on quite a bit, but for now, we just gotta explain what it is, how it can benefit them. Um, Maybe let's throw another slide in here. Oh,
and you have to reinvent the wheel. There's also some slides. I have a thing called Open Slide Deck. So I've got slides that you can reuse for my presentation. So let me do Open Slide Deck. So let me just, let's see that, I want to see a link here. Okay, got it. And you know, you can embed those within the wiki, so you should embed that on your log, but I'm going to embed on this other page here. So what you do is file, have you ever embedded Google Docs on other websites?
I have not, but okay. I try to figure it out.
Yeah, file publish to the web. I'm doing it right now. File publish to web, embed, and then publish, okay, embed code, and no, this is good, man. I think we're gonna do it.
Awesome. Oh, dude, I'm ready to spend the rest of my life trying. So
yeah. So on okay, hold on. No, edit. Control C. Okay, go to, on the wiki you can go to recent pages. You go on the left hand side, you see recent wiki changes.
Sure.
I'm just,
gotcha.
or you can go click the link I just put into the chat box. So there's some notes. So there's Recyclebot, D3D, CNC, Circuit Mill, 3D Print, Genealogy, Open Slide Deck. Those are some assets you can use. So basically you're saying, hey, I'm going to bring a bunch of machines over. We're going to teach librarians to start microfactories and libraries. We're going to bring it to schools. We're going to run design jams. We're going to run workshops on a regular basis, and we'll involve the public in general to democratize product design. We're going to democratize product design in Seattle and area. Do you kind of call yourself in the Seattle area, or?
Yeah. I'm up there all the time. That's where the makerspace is, and I'm like 25 minutes away if there's no traffic. So it's definitely within the commuter area.
Yeah. The presentation that I linked there, which is the Recyclebot, the paper that you download, or when you click on Recyclebot, it's got awesome graphics, full renderings. That's actually fully available in FreeCAD. In fact, I converted it to FreeCAD already for Dr. Pierce. But yeah, so you can say, hey, yeah, we got this, it's fully open source. We're collaborating with Michigan Tech.
Deal with the plastic pollution issue.
Yeah. You can spin it. You can, we're like a lot of that is described in, in the Microfactory bootcamp and immersion program description. I mean, you can replay a lot of that. I think your thoughts are on this. So yeah, like as soon as you got it, let's get that and let's start passing it on to people, and let's find some money so you don't have to borrow it from your parents.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Definitely ready to hit the pavement. So I guess I'll start working on this pitch.
Excellent.
And then, let me see if I have any other questions. Okay, so I mean, I guess I will start working on this when I talk to people. Am I kind of in for the immersion program.
Yeah, yeah. The idea is that, yeah, I like you, what you have to offer. I think you got the right character set, the mindset for this, and I think you definitely can learn skill sets. So I will say that the official word is that you have made it through the initial application and interview, and right now you're at the phase of gathering the resources for that, for the immersion program. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Awesome.
but you also like what it's known as, pull, like pull from the community. Do you understand that?
Uh, Pool, like P O
Pull,
O L.
P, no, Pull. Like
Pool.
we're looking for pool. In other words, we're
Okay.
looking basically for people in your community that want to bring it there. It's like you're the ambassador for OSE. You're offering, like, what are you offering? You're offering to Seattle area the fact that you're going to get trained to produce certain things and to spread that in a fully open source distributed enterprise way to the local community so people can start a business. We're investing in you, but part of this, okay, so there's actually another thing we're looking for. We're looking for a mentor.
Right. Okay.
So part of
Mentor
the
for me.
mentor for you specifically, and as far as what's going to happen with the OSE Fellows group, the people who are accepted into the program, we're going to also get group coaching on team dynamics and collaboration. So we're going to get like real, through that I've accessed coaching from real solid coaches, like real professionals.
Okay.
So we'll do that to build team, but also we need a coach, not a coach, but a mentor, somebody who's aligned with this OSE stuff and who can be your contact, kind of like a liaison to Seattle. So hopefully it'll be something like on Chamber of Commerce, some community organization that basically can mentor you like 1 hour a month at least. So we're trying to be a month, get mentored, just kind of checking in with them, and hopefully they spend more time like availing resources to you, kind of guiding you through, say, business contacts, or whoever. But we do want, like, when you're looking for the support, also have two things in mind. One is the mentor, and one is the support from the community, meaning the funding or other resources or possibly space or whatever else. We're also, I mean, we are a 501c3 nonprofit, so actually if you do ask somebody for support, you can say that it's tax deductible because we can give formal tax deductions to people as well. So, yeah.
And if people want to contribute like maybe $100 or something, can I offer like, hey, you get a sponsorship and we'll like put your makerspace logo somewhere and like.
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea. So we should have different tiers of sponsorship. So I would like you to put that into your pitch.
Okay.
So basically have support. Basically, the angel is going to be the guy who gives you full sum, and then go down from there. Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of standard stuff, but yeah, it'd be good. And what do we give to them? We'll say, we'll have them featured on our website. We'll feature the sponsors. Thank you, X, Y, and Z, for sponsoring our first ever immersion program, where we have now our 4 successful candidates working to bring the open source Maker Factory and open source product development to our communities.
Gotcha. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. And then last you mentioned, so part of the enterprise money is from the workshops, and then part of it was plain manufacturing, right? Like building kits and stuff for people, actually using the microfactory to build products that the community wants or needs.
Right.
So I guess I just wanted to know more about that, because with this strip mall thing, we're gonna be like building shelves and all sorts of things, all sorts of little gizmos and gadgets that we need to get the thing going. And it's always just like you have to go to a commercial seller, and they're gonna charge you, $500 for something that's like $30 worth of material. like those towel dispensers are like $8, and they have no
You're talking
feedback.
about building up your hackerspace?
No, I'm talking about building up the my parents' businesses. They
Oh,
require things, and so or just anyone in the community. Eventually, as we market,
yeah.
people will want to come to me to produce things for them. So, so how does that fit in? Is that similar to like there's 10 people that you bring in for the workshops and the money from
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
and then if you bring in more, there's uh, I don't know. I guess
Right, right. So what we have to do is the 3,000 is baseline. Above that, we have to decide. I haven't really gone through the formality on it, but basically we would do revenue share on something above a certain quota, so that you are incentivized to be more active. Obviously, so natural like bonuses. So, and as far as like a product, like yeah, I think it would be awesome if we could say, oh. Your parents need these dispensers. Okay, maybe you put forth like a couple of those products as the products you own for that quarter of development or something. Maybe that'll be down the road a little bit, but certainly on something where we open source that production, like we open source the files, we can possibly put that on our website to sell kits, and you'll get a cut of it or
right on.
stuff like that. No, I mean, imagine that. Like, the idea is the open source everything store. We are all collaborating to make product design that's open, and including the open source web infrastructure. Like, here's the whole shopping basket, here's the product display and all that. We produce all that for anyone to copy. And
Yeah,
of course, we have primacy to sell that. But anyone, I mean, I just want, if it's a good product, let anybody copy it. So
yeah,
that's the
definitely,
idea.
definitely. I
And
mean,
then you have your captive audience. Like, say your parents need a bunch of this stuff. Yeah. We could do that. We could do different special products. I think there's some key certain specific products that are just expensive and could be easily bumped out by open source production.
definitely. Yeah, I mean, even if we're not like an older mindset would be if we open source it, we're not benefiting from it, but we benefit from kind of competing with traditional enterprise in any way, shape, or form. And if we enable other people to do that, you know, they help bring down man basically.
Absolutely,
And
absolutely. And that's, you got it. It's like we're in this together, the so-called enemy. There is no enemy, but if there were one, it is a fact that the system operates in a very extractive way. We are all collaborating to seize that power of production.
definitely.
And that is trillion upon trillion-dollar markets. We don't have to worry about making a living.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just to wrap up that, you mentioned like if 12 people work 3 hours a day,
Right.
that's
Right.
modern comforts. That I think that's going to just pull the rug out from all the exploitation that goes on. You guys
Yeah.
to work in town today for nothing. And like, well, we give them better options. Like, hey, you guys can live in our little hippie village instead. Not to say it's that, but like
Yeah.
for the
Right.
people in
Right.
India, I feel like if they're like just working like dogs in a factory, and
Right.
we offer them a better lifestyle, it's just going to
Right.
pull the rug out from exploitation. So,
Yep, absolutely. And what you just said, it's obvious. It's absolutely obvious, right? If we think forward a bit. However, to get there is very challenging
yes,
because it
yeah, a
requires
lot of proof, a lot
developing.
of economics actually proven.
There's the economic part, but believe it or not, it's actually not a technology, it's more the social technology that's going to be the challenge. It's people's mindsets. Because then if you can say, oh yeah, this is going to work, like, it's hard. It's the chicken and egg problem. Until you have done it, nobody believes it, and it's hard to get support. So this is where the entrepreneurial savvy, like the constant evolution,
Right.
training, we get mentors, we get coached, we have to think about it strategically, what it means to get there. But it's going to happen, and I think it is happening in different ways.
Yeah.
Now, of course, there's a lot of usurpation and lots of extractive activity going on. Simply because, I mean, as you probably clearly see, is that our technical know-how has far outstripped our capacity to be human, right?
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
too powerful, we don't know what to do with ourselves. We're destroying the earth and stuff like that. that's why, along with this program, it calls for human development or human evolution concurrent with
Oh,
the technological development.
yeah. I'm sorry, my thing cut out for a second there. But yeah, I mean, our technology is way far ahead of our ability to handle it. There's
Right.
like this, uh, and if you have to go, I'm sorry if I'm keeping you. I just like to, I don't get to talk about this stuff all the time. So, but you know how like people always think about like mind control
Yeah.
as like a chip in your brain, and it's like releasing a chemical or an electrical signal, and your neurons are like doing stuff, and now you're being mind controlled, right?
Yep.
Well, if you think about it, the neurons in the cone cells and the rod cells in your eye, they're also neurons. They're neurons that use a neurotransmitter. Their neurotransmitter is photons instead of chemicals. So
Right.
when you put a screen in front of your face, and one of Amazon's AI is recommending something to you, to buy this, do this, essentially that's a chip that is sending a neurotransmitter into your brain. It just happens to be a photon instead of a chemical.
Huh.
And we're being controlled and shepherded by AIs that are
Right.
putting us in groups and just like recommending things to.
There you are. Harmony there. You're muted right now. I can't hear you. Looks like, I don't know if you are. Yeah, you are muted. Unmute yourself or something. Or you just refresh to refresh the browser or something. Yeah, for some reason you're muted there. Yeah, Harman, can you hear me?
Hey, yes, I can hear you. Sorry, I think my internet's messing.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I guess we should maybe wrap up.
Yeah. Yeah. No, this
I don't
is
want to
really
find a
cool.
tangent there.
Yeah, so no, this is great. I really enjoyed the conversation. So I think, yeah, work on the pitch, and yeah,
Hmm.
I mean, just bounce it back and forth, man. Let's kill it on it. Sorry for those words.
Yes.
Um,
Oh yeah.
and
I'm down. Yeah. Good.
make a compelling message to the crowd. I mean, man, I think in our state of mind right now where you are, I don't think you should have problems getting those resources. I can check with, give the pitch to me as soon as you can. I'm going to pass it on to my people too. So I'll work for you too.
Okay.
Yep.
Great. Awesome. Sounds good. All right. Thanks so much. Okay.
Okay. And Harman, yeah, so yeah, anytime any questions, just email me. Let's keep the discussion back and forth. Let's bounce
Okay.
back and forth on the pitch. When do you
Okay.
think you'll have a cut that they can review?
How about is Friday soon enough? I can leave it clear. I mean, I could. What I do, I create a minimal viable product, and then I keep iterating on it, making it better and better.
Yeah.
So I could
How about
offer
this?
something.
Give me an MVP by Thursday night.
Sure,
Don't
sure.
worry about whatever state it's in. Just go at it. Put some time into it, and then we can just go back and forth on it. Hmm.
All right, sounds good.
Excellent. Well, Harm, great to talk to you, and let's keep going. Let's do this.
Yep, sounds good. Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay. Bye bye.
All right.